heard of the big banana and the big prawn, but you won't believe the size of local teenager Willy's big secret.
Oh no.
G'day you cheeky dogs. If you've been wondering what Ludo Studios has been doing instead of making a new Bluey season 4, then let me introduce you to their new animated series, Willy.
Speaking of depression, what's up, wuss?
Results are ready!
Now this is a 2D animated 10-episode series about a teen queer coming-of-age sitcom. And it is just as Australian as Bluey is, if not maybe like a little bit more. And unlike Bluey, which of course is technically for young children and a co-viewing experience between parents and young children, Willy is firmly a teen to adult animated series.
Looks like that shitty tourism campaign worked for someone.
Which I think also lines up pretty well with Bluey's like aging audience, because a lot of them have now gone into like their teen years. And yeah, it's just something that if you liked Bluey, I feel like you would also really like Willy.
It was all pretty quick, really. It was just in and out, and I even got to keep them.
Look, I'm keen to get it done, but Chili, she wants to keep her options open, but I don't know. Do we want any more of these things running around? Hey!
If you don't get off heat,
Give me the snip again, please. You're so hot for that boy, you'll need a pedestal fan for your panties.
So, what is this show? The show follows Wilbur Willie Davis, a queer teenager living on a banana farm in pre-smartphone, dial-up era in far north Queensland. He confronts questions of his identity, religion, and masculinity.
Do you have time to say grace, or should I tell the Heavenly Father you're too busy?
Willy also retreats into a vivid imaginary world populated by neurotic mentors, including a desexed house cat and a talking portrait of the Virgin Mary.
And don't get me started on you, Willy. Perving on that nice young heterosexual man across the street. Please stop!
Now, a 5-minute pilot was released last month, and it was pitched to a bunch of the major studios at the Annecy International Animation Film Festival. It is currently being backed though by Screen Queensland, and is being created between Ludo Studios and Sadman Studios.
So take a trip to Toei, where nothing ever changes and everything stays the same.
Aren't you glad you were born in this neck of the woods, mate?
Now, as an Australian who has lived in America, I have seen a lot of like specific Bluey Facebook groups, as well as like right-wing kind of conservative media, try to spin that Bluey is anti-LGBT. And they kind of really try to prop Bluey up as something that really like upholds very specific conservative views of family life. And I feel like Willy is just Ludo Studios' way of being like a big FU to that kind of rhetoric. Ludo Studios has done many other projects outside of Bluey that are obviously not specifically for toddlers. So no, they aren't going woke by doing this in any way whatsoever, because Ludo Studios has always developed a broad spectrum of programming, and it has always been pro-LGBTQ+. Many of their staff and animators on Bluey are part of the queer community, and those who aren't specifically a part of it have constantly shown support for that community as well across their social medias. And honestly, I was pretty surprised when I saw a lot of like right-wing media and journalists sort of saying that Bluey wasn't like pro-LGBTQ+ and things like that, especially obviously after the episode The Sign.
Yeah, like when my guinea pig ran away, my mum's told me he might come back, but he didn't. Aww.
Because it literally takes like 2 minutes of investigation of the team that has worked on Bluey and produced it and things like that, and checking their social medias to see that they are all pro-LGBTQ+. So really, it just feels like it's very lazy journalism on that side to try and say that Ludo Studios isn't this. So it's honestly not surprising in any way whatsoever that Ludo Studios and many of the Bluey animators would want to help bring Willy into fruition and work on it. And honestly, after watching the 5-minute promo of it, I'm really excited for this show too. Now, whilst Bluey is set in Brisbane, Willy is set in North Queensland, or far North Queensland. So it's still the same state as Bluey, but we're literally just like 18 hours between them in terms of driving distance. And North Queensland has its own very specific vibe. And I am from far North Queensland. So this is one of the many reasons why I loved watching it. Because again, it was like watching my life and my hometown in some ways come to life.
Has big city life got you feeling a bit Toei? Then why not visit the township of Toei in Australia's tropical far north Queensland?
And honestly, the 2D animation for this is 10 out of 10. They absolutely nailed it. So I feel like if you love seeing like that aspect of Australia, you're going to love seeing it in Willy as well, because you get to see a whole other part of Australia with it. It is, of course, also very super nostalgic as well, because it is set in the 1990s. So it is kind of cool to see them, like, you know, tackle the idea of what it was like in that time without smartphones and growing up in that time as well in more like rural settings. And of course, because this is for teens and adults, there are specific teen and adult jokes in it as well.
Gonna go for a walk.
Well, enjoy your evening of perving.
Thank you. Wait, what?
And it is a coming-of-age story that showcases what it's like to figure out what your sexuality and identity as a teen is in a town that's considered very bogan, or in case you don't know what the word bogan means, it's kind of like redneck, hick, that kind of thing.
And our beautiful Burn-Off Bay pageant, now in its 50th year.
And just like how Bluey was about the creator Joe Brum's life with him as a father and his 2 daughters, Willy is also about the creator's life. The creator is Samuel Leighton Dorr. He is one half of Sadman Studios, and this show is all about his life and what it was like for him as a queer teen in a very small country town in Australia growing up.
Hey! I'm Jack. Just moved up from Townsville. It's a sweaty one, huh?
The music is, of course, absolutely amazing for this. They nailed it so well with the song. And I also think the topic of dealing with different types of masculinity is done really well as well.
Wilbur, say something.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm Willy.
Having it set in the 1990s also helps us look back at the expectations then versus also the expectations now for boys and teens and men. I think it's really interesting to see how things have changed since then. I also want to point out that this is meant to be a reflection of Australia, of course, and our views and our life and things like that. And this show really showcases how we have changed in 20 years. Like back in 2004, only 38% of the Australian population was pro same-sex marriage, whereas 20 years later now, it's at 75% for pro same-sex marriage. So that is a huge cultural shift over 20 years. And this show is just another example of it and telling people's stories and what their experience was like growing up in Australia. So personally, I'm really excited to see this. I can't wait for the 10 episodes to drop. I have been following very closely on all of their social medias. They have not set the release date yet, but going off previous timelines, usually when they go to like these film festivals, it takes about a year until whatever network has acquired them actually releases them out to the public.
What are you doing on the roof?
So I'm curious. Are you excited to see Willy and see what the animators and producers from Bluey have created with this new 10-episode series? I want to know all of your thoughts and feelings in that comment section down below. But until I release another video, I have picked you cheeky dogs out a few other videos that maybe you would like to watch, and I will see you all in another video. Bye!